Welcome back. This is Isabel Alexander and episode 99 of the Lift as You Climb podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see I am wearing my flannel shirt because as it's almost the end of this calendar year, it's actually a little chilly here this morning. And so I'm getting cozy and comfortable so we can have this warm conversation with you. As a recap of the last 5 or 6 episodes on strategic planning, and as promised, share with you some personal examples of the results, the experiences along the way, the great memories around the strategic planning process. As I said, and I really mean it, I did fall in love with the strategic planning process and especially with the results. And the results are multi-pronged in many ways. Right now, coming to my mind is how delightful it was to be able to share the plan. Initially, it was all from me, my ideas, my vision for what I wanted to see in growth for the company. But then realizing when I invited my team to take ownership and participate in creating the plan, carrying it out, measuring it, measuring results, and accountable for the outcome, it just created this incredible boost of energy in my organization. And seriously, from the beginning of implementing this teamwork attitude and involvement of not only my team, but stakeholders as well, and I'll share more about that in a moment, I saw substantial growth in my company year after year. And that resulted in us becoming an 8-figure business and winning multiple business awards domestically and internationally, and creating a pretty cool legacy for me. That's one of the aspects. Why I learned to fall in love with strategic planning was how it became less about me having to carry all the responsibility and more about me sharing the opportunity for growth with other people who contributed outside of the area of strengths and perspective that I had. And when I had that kind of buy-in from my team, we just continued to have more fun, to become the best version of each of ourselves, and to continue to grow in our success. For example, in the section on rhythm in the book, Vern Harnish talks about setting up a rhythm or a cadence of meetings with your staff. And we adopted and implemented the daily stand-up, which was a quick morning, energetic, really to the point update with each other. And because I did have people working on the team remotely from other parts of the world, it was also an amazing opportunity to engage them and have them feel like they were part of the team and have the team get to know them better. So it took a very short period of time, about 15 minutes every morning, same time, people calling in back then on their VPNs. Now it would be done over Zoom. So you can tell I've been doing this for a while because it predated Zoom. And we would discuss with each other a report. Actually, it wasn't a discussion. We were reporting to each other what we had accomplished since we last met, what we are working on now, our priority for the day, and what we need help with. So in that very brief, energetic meeting, we had the opportunity to celebrate, to inform, and also to reach out and ask for the help of whoever else on the team could provide it or provide a suggestion to do it. And that became such a great team exercise for building cohesion and energy and connection that it did become part of the framework for my Lift as You Climb program, which I do for groups and larger corporations today. Another aspect of creating rhythm was to have themes for each quarter, which we used in a celebratory manner. And because my company was called FanCore, and that starts with a PH, we would have themes called the Fanatics or the Fantastics or other such great fun labels for what our theme was, our mantra was for the quarter. And at the end of the quarter, we would celebrate. It might have been going to a hockey game or going out for pizza or doing some kind of arts and crafts celebration. Or sometimes I would just cook for them all and we would sit around and have some personal time together. It wasn't always about business, of course, because we are whole people. Another aspect of what I felt was so fabulous about the celebration aspect of achieving the goals and working through those milestones was having my annual celebration where I'd have a retreat. I'd host a retreat for my team. Now, I understand that if you are a much smaller organization and you don't have enough people to do that, or perhaps you are a solopreneur, consider doing this with a mastermind group or a peer advisor group. Find a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, business owners, and get together with them on a quarterly, annual, whatever the rhythm basis, and review your own plans and your progress so that you are presenting and accountable and have an opportunity to celebrate the milestones along the way. I think there are so many other ways that you can look at the opportunity to find unique, really specific to you ways to continue to fire yourself up, energize yourself to stay on track, keep your commitments to the objectives that you have laid out, but celebrate. As entrepreneurs, we're often just really focused on what's the next goal, what's the next accomplishment. And when things aren't going smoothly, when you're not achieving what you hoped you had, or there's some momentary distraction or obstacle, there's a temptation to get all down on yourself and to feel very critical and maybe give up or let go, downgrade what the goal is. By pausing regularly and looking back at how far you've actually come, then it's so much easier to keep in perspective that, yes, there will be blips and there will be things that you cannot foresee. But the fact is that you either go over them, around them, under them, or through them. Remember that you are only stalled, you are not stopped if something comes along the way. And keep referring back to that strategic plan, knowing, okay, I got this, and I'm going to continue to go forward. But celebrate regularly so that you keep up with that energy and momentum. I've mentioned this book before, but it seems a perfect place to bring it up. When you're feeling like, oh my God, all I do is keep working, reaching for the carrot that keeps moving, a good thing would be to pause and cuddle up with a flannel shirt and read Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy's book, The Gap and the Gain. As entrepreneurs, we fall into the gap too often. We don't always remember to look back and see the gain and celebrate that. Now, if you're looking for a little more reading material over the winter season, then I also recommend that you read the book Raving Fans. And of course, we'll link to both of those books in the notes below. Raving Fans is an excellent short book, and it's been around for a long time. It stood the test of time for sure as a business book recommending perspectives on how to involve everybody in your success. And it's not just about your team, which is the part I touched on briefly in the episode where we discussed stakeholders. It's understanding that you and your business are supported by and impacted by not only people who work for you, but the people who work with you and the people that support you and the people that are detracting in your life. And having a perspective around creating raving fans to continue to support your strategic plan to be successful, it's a good strategy as well. I'll leave you on that note. I'm looking forward to being back to you very soon with episode 100 as we bring 2023 to a close and look forward to a very exciting new year and how we continue to lift ourselves, build our own success ladders, and empower others to build theirs. Stay tuned.